One thing is for certain, I am by your side. Hello, good morning. It is another glorious day. It's Wednesday, so you know it's time for our Release Devotional 2.0, the 2.0 version, because we did our 21 days together and we decided, oh, it was just so good, we got to keep it going. Good morning, Miss Leola. Oh my goodness, you get the gold star. You're the first in the room today. Good morning, Empowerment Tribe, and blessings to you too. It's great to see you. Michael, always there and present. I'm great this morning. Thanks so much. Hello, Facebookers. Get it on in here, YouTubers and Periscopers. Good to see you, Michael. Yep, get hungry. Dr. Jen, good morning from the West Coast. Good to have you in. Monique, how are you, my darling? Great to see you this morning. Enjoyed your stream about your NLP techniques. Brother Savalas, good to see you. Welcoming the family. Hello, Miss Pamela. Good to see you. And Miss Helen. The gang is all here. What it is. Good to see you this morning, too. So glad to have everybody together. Today's going to be a little bit different. I just thought I'd go ahead and put that out there. We're going to do some things a little bit different today, but all good. I know you all are down for the ride. So today's devotional is again coming from Priscilla Shirer's book, Awaken. And so that's where our devotional comes from. But before we get to that, I got a couple of things for you. Good morning, Pamela. How are you? Great to see you. And I thought I saw another Smith come in the room. What's up? And hello, Periscopers. Don't forget to tap out those hearts. Tap out them hearts, because you know I love to kiss my cheeks with those hearts. And so let me just let you know, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking, Michael. I'm doing great. I am. I will have a share and wrapped in a wisdom nugget, but I thought I would take us on a little bit of a journey today. You know, it doesn't matter where you are in life or how far you go through things in life. We all go through times and seasons of setbacks, right? And if we're not careful, you can, in those times of setback, lose your hunger for life. You can lose your hunger for love, joy, purpose, mission, all of those things. And it's not to say that you lose it forever, but you can, if you don't address it, get tangled up, right? And so today's devotional is going to look into one woman's story, her setback, and how she got her hunger back in life, right? But before we get into dissecting the process of bouncing back from setbacks. Yes, ma'am, are you having a setback? Are you having a setback? It's okay, we all have them. Even four-legged puppies have setbacks. They do. But before we get into this, what are you trying to do? Before we get into trying to dissect that and figure out what's going on with her and her setback, I wanted to go into this with a high vibration of gratitude and peace. Because sometimes when we talk about our setbacks, it can take us to a place. And so I wanted to get us kind of to raise our vibration and to raise our spiritual antennas and become a magnet and attract and a channel for good. And for that purpose, then you can talk about setbacks and you have a soft and empowering place to land. So the first thing I want to do is I want to share with you a video share from Oprah. It comes to us from her book, The Path Made Clear. It's a great little book, sort of devotionals, but of her own wisdom nuggets. And yes, does that book cover look awfully familiar to another book cover you've seen before? Path Made Clear. Path to your life purpose. It's okay, Auntie O. I am always glad to be an inspiration. You've given so much. It's the least I can do is to inspire you. Everybody's saying Nala. Everybody's saying hello. So Auntie Candace says hello. God Daddy Patrick Claiborne says hello. Okay, everybody's saying hello. All right. Yes, but you have both books. Well, thank you. Mine came first, but it doesn't even matter. It does not even matter. I remember you talking about that book cover. Yeah, it was funny to me. No, let me tell you what that does for me. Those synchronous things tell me I'm on the right path. Seriously, it only tells me that I'm on the right path. So let's hear from Auntie O and see what she has to say. Yes, Uncle Neil says hello too. There you go. Okay. So let's just hear from Oprah first, and then we're going to actually do a breathing exercise. We're going to do gratitude stacking. For those of you who have been with me before in different versions of what we do together, the work we do together, you'll know about gratitude stacking. But for the rest of you, it is a practice that I would encourage you to add to your morning routine. So first, we'll take a little listen to Oprah, and then after that, we'll go into our exercise for today before our devotional.
I've always thought of a mountain as this magnificent metaphor for life, because during any climb, there's always unexpected valleys. You know, you can look up at a mountain, you think, oh, that's not that far, that high up, but you don't see the valleys and the deep ridges that it takes to get to the top. They are inevitable. So whenever I experience setbacks, I try to stay conscious of whatever the experience is here to teach me, what it is allowing me to grow into. And I know that whatever is happening to any of us is a means to help us evolve into more of who we are meant to be.
Evolving into more of who we are meant to be. So I hope you got that. There are some empowering questions that she asked in there. How can I evolve into more of who I'm meant to be? Right? We're going to talk a little bit more about empowering questions in a minute, but I do want to take us through this exercise. So if you have room, if you have space, I'm going to get up, because when I do my gratitude exercises, I like to involve my whole body, because I want my whole body to be engaged. I want at a cellular level for me to get it and to take it all in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition over, and then we're going to do this together. Now, like I said, if you have room to do this and you can spread out or at least stand up, then I suggest that you try that. Just try it. And then it's different. I get it. It's different, but different can be good, right? Different can be good. So let's try. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm so glad. Flowing with you. Can't hear me. Can y'all hear me now? Hopefully y'all can hear me now. Thanks for letting me know. Good looking out. Okay. All right. So we're just going to breathe in. Still can't hear? Yes. Okay. We're just going to breathe in. Yes. There comes the yes. Okay. All right. So you breathe in through your nose, and when you get to the top, hold it, Let it go to every area in your body. If you feel tension in your shoulders, wherever, send that breath to that place when you get to the top, and then breathe it out and bring it down to your heart. Okay? So let's get ready to breathe in. Hold it. Now breathe it out. Bring it back down to your heart. Now, wherever you are facing a setback, imagine that there's a place that it sits on you, whether it's in your heart, it hurts, in your stomach, your shoulders, where tension lands. We're sending this breath to that place. Ready? Breathe in. Hold it. Send it to that space. Now breathe it out. This time when you breathe it out, this time, let it wrap around the setback. Let it wrap around the disappointment. Let it wrap around the grief. Let it wrap around the uncertainty. Let that fresh breath of air wrap around it. And when we blow it out this time, you are blowing it out of your body, out from a cellular level. You're just blowing it out. Ready? Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Breathe it all out. Breathe it all out. I like to stretch. I like to wiggle and just let all kind of anxious energy leave my body. I just like work it out. Now we're going to do a gratitude stack. And hi, Robin, good to see you. So what you're going to do now is I want you to think of something you want to replace that feeling or thought of a setback. Think of a win. Think of something that you consider a win, something that you're grateful for. And we're going to just start stacking gratitude. Okay? We're just going to start stacking gratitude left and right. Ready? Close your eyes. Put one hand on your heart. Feel your heartbeat. This heart that beats for you thousands of times a day, and you don't even have to think of it, most of us. That sustains us, that keeps us living, that supports us, that lets us feel and heal. We're so grateful for our heart. Now I want you to reach out and grab something that is meaningful to you, that makes you happy. Now I want you to pull it in and just pull it into your heart. Now think of another time when you were happy and reach out. Whatever that was that made you happy, a person, an experience, a thing. Think about it, let it make you smile again. Pull it into your heart. Now think about something that you're hoping for that makes you smile, that brings you joy. It might be something for yourself or for somebody else. Whatever that is, reach out, grab it, pull in that thought of it, wrapped in gratitude, and stack it into your heart. Keep breathing. What's that one thing that no one can ever take from you that will always make you feel good? Again, it could be a person, an experience, a thing, something that's happened in the past or the future to be. Reach out, grab that, pull it in. Pull it into your heart. Now you think of things that make you laugh. What was the time where you laughed and you laughed so hard you snorkeled? You did that funny little laugh. What was that thing? Remember a time you laughed and laughed and laughed? Grab that. Let's bring that experience in, because there's more laughs to come. Yeah, bring that in. Bring that in. What's the time where you felt like, I am absolutely in the right place at the right time? That's a great feeling, isn't it? Let's reach out, grab one of those. It could be for something big or small. It doesn't matter. Bring it in. Now I want you to imagine all the good that's to come, all the good that's out there, that's on the way. And I want you to just start bringing it in. Just bring in good. You don't even have to have a name for it. Just bring it in. Just say, I receive good. I deserve good. I am worthy of good. Just bring it all in and just stack it into your heart. Just stack it, stack it, stack it, stack it. Stack it, stack it, stack it, stack it, stack it. Hold it right there. I can feel it breaking in you guys. I can feel it. I can feel it. You are deserving of good. You are worthy of good. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't even matter what it is or what it feels like. Good is yours. There's still good that awaits you. There's still good that is in you. The brilliance of who you were created to be is ready to be loose now. Not only do you take in good, you emanate and manifest good out of you. This is what you were created for. This is what your purpose is rooted in. Hold it there. Yeah. Breathe in all that good. And seal it in yourself with a vow that no one can take it away. It's yours. Don't give it away. And know this, you can create good anytime you want. Anytime you want more good, you can create it. Anytime you need to feel this, you can create it. You don't need me to lead you in this. You can create the good that you stack into your heart. Use gratitude as your key. Stack it. Pull it in. Hold it close and know that nothing, no one can take it from you. Don't give it up. Protect it. Allow it to fuel you. Allow it to emanate from you. Accept good when it comes from other people. Don't say stuff like, oh no, I don't deserve. You are deserving. You are worthy. Take all the good that comes your way and repay it by putting a bunch of good back out into the world. That is how you stack gratitude. And if you will make that or some semblance of that a part of your morning routine, I promise you the things that you face through the day, they won't ever take you low. You might take a hit. You might cry some tears. You might feel low, but you're not going to stay there because gratitude is so buoyant. It's always going to lift you back up to the surface. And that is what's important about gratitude, right? That's what's always going to be important about gratitude. All right, let's transition back so we can do our devotional for today. That's what it's all about. Oh, so thank you guys for transitioning with me. I just felt like we needed to add a couple of things to our practice this morning. I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. Well, good. I'm glad. Yes, yes. Yes to the yes to the yes. And thank you. I see hearts on Periscope. I appreciate that. That's what it's all about. We are mind, body, and spirit. Yes. Thank you, Periscope. We are mind, body, and spirit, right? And so that's what it's about. It's about attending to all those things. So when we feel low in different areas, it's just like your gas tank. If you're low in your gas, you're going to pull up and you're going to get some gas, right? If you're low in some other areas, if your gratitude tank is low, we're going to pull up, we're going to fill it up, all right? So let's get to our devotional today. Now it feels good. Now when you talk about setbacks, you do it with hope because you know that one setback is, hey, Joya, you know that one setback is like what Oprah said. It's just like a valley in the mountains. It's not an abyss where you get lost forever. Hello, my yaya. I love you so much, baby. It's not something that is going to take you out. It's just going to take you on more of a journey, right? And so let me shout out my mom too. Love you, mommy. Thank you for always watching in the mornings. Appreciate you. All right. So our devotional today, as I was sharing with you, comes out of Awaken, Priscilla Shirer's book. It's a great little devotional, and I've truly enjoyed it. Let me show you what I've decided to do was, I just got to find where it is. Okay. What I've decided to do was take pictures for you all so that you can follow along with me, because I think that is, some of us learn by reading. And so I want to make sure that we always have it the way we need it to be. All right. So let us begin. If you've lost, the scripture is 1 Samuel 1:18. So the woman went her way and ate, and her face was no longer sad. Now she calls this devotional Get Hungry. Table Talk. I called it Get Hungry, because sometimes it's easier for us to lose that hunger, right? It's easier for us. We don't have that drive. We don't have that passion. And so, hello, my cousin Harriet. Good to see you, love. Thank you, Neil, for shouting mom out. I'm sure she'll love that too. So let's begin. If you've lost your hunger for life, love, or joy, if you're marked today by fatigue, depression, and weakness, if you feel little interest in the things that used to interest you the most, there's an Old Testament woman that can show you how to get your appetite back. Hannah was in despair. Her rival wife was bearing children for their shared husband. Okay, polygamy was a thing back then. They had a shared husband, all right? And so she was in rivalry with this other woman. And that woman was bearing children as fast as she could conceive them, but Hannah suffered a long, silent barrenness. So constantly she was berated by this other woman's provocations and catty remarks. Hannah came to the point of being so distraught that she didn't even feel like eating. Have you all ever been there? Where something is so on you, it's so disturbing to you, it is, perplexing in a way that you just don't even want to eat. It's one of your faves. That's cool. It can affect our appetite, and not only our physical appetite for food, because that has happened to me before. I'm sure it's happened to some of you all before too, but it can also affect your spiritual appetite and your drive, right? And so Monique says she's absolutely been there. Yeah. And so she was in despair. And maybe you've been there feeling that upset. Maybe you're there now, burdened by dashed hopes, lost love, crippled dreams, ailing health, debilitating difficulty and trauma. Not even your favorite foods could tempt you. Not now. But things did change for Hannah, giving us hope that they can change for us as well. The family took their annual trip, their pilgrimage to Shiloh, where the house of the Lord was located. So they're going to church, right? And while they were there, she was greatly distressed. She prayed to the Lord and wept bitterly. Right? Have you ever done that? And you just cry out before God? You're weeping bitterly. Yes, Jennifer says. Dr. Jennifer says, I've been there. Right? She was weeping bitterly. And she prayed to the Lord. Her desire was to have a child. And it was so deep and extreme that she vowed to relinquish this yet preconceived son to the Lord as an offering of thanks. So she's already dedicating something to God that doesn't even exist yet, right? She's dedicating to God something that's not yet in manifested form, right? And as she did that, she was saying that she was dedicating his life. She wanted a boy, a son, so she was going to dedicate his life to the service of God and God's people. And her prayer was so intense and passionate, the Bible says that one of the priests, Eli, took her for being drunk. She was wailing and weeping and crying, and her mouth was moving and words were coming out, all kinds of stuff. And they thought she must be drunk. Pamela Gill says, yes, I've been there. Yes. Life will hit you just the right way. It'll put you on your knees and you'll be right there. Right? But finally, with her heart completely poured out before God, something remarkable happened. God gave Hannah her appetite back. Despite her prayer that was yet to be answered, Despite her cruel sister wife's ruthless taunting, despite her husband's naive insensitivity to her condition, nothing had changed the tiniest bit in any of her pitiful circumstances. Now, this little line, despite her husband's naive insensitivity, because they would go, and back in those days, they would give offerings to God, right? You would give an offering to God in physical form, whether it be, something you own, some sort of livestock, something of that nature. They would give offerings. And so her husband would give her twice as much as he would give his other wife because he felt for her. But the thing that he was able to give her wasn't the thing that filled that hole for her, right? And so in some ways we call him insensitive, but sometimes I think, well, if you're giving the only thing you know to give, the only thing that you have, right? Is it insensitivity, or are you just incomplete in being able to fulfill that need? And that can sometimes happen. Hello, Anthony. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Yes, giving offerings to God. And so despite all the things that weren't working to address her need, nothing had changed the tiniest bit in her circumstances. Yet after offloading her tears and frustrations at God's feet, she went her way and ate, and her face was no longer sad. Amazing what calling out on the Lord can accomplish. The power of prayer can work wonders, not only in your spiritual life, but also in your physical, practical well-being. All the way down on the inside of you, God can give you your hunger back for food, for family, for work, for ministry, for life. Calling out on God. Now, she also got a word from the priest, and I want to take you over to the scripture because it's not necessarily reflected in the devotional that way. But let's go to the actual scripture in 1 Samuel so you can see it yourself. So they accused her of being drunk, remember? Because if you see here, Hannah was praying. Let's pick it up, verse 13. Hannah was praying silently. Only her lips were moving, but her voice wasn't heard. And Eli thought she was drunk, right? Like, what's wrong with you, lady? What's the matter, lady? So as he's talking to her, he's asking her, how long are you going to make a spectacle of yourself? Put the wine away. And she says, no, I'm not a drunken woman. I'm deeply troubled. I've been pouring my soul out before the Lord. Sometimes people aren't going to understand your tears. Sometimes they're not going to understand the way you need to pour it out before God. Right? That's okay. You do what you need to do for that vertical. You going before God may look like a lot of different things. People may even accuse you of not having faith. Well, why are you all upset about this? You're supposed to be, I thought you standing on faith, standing in belief. It doesn't matter. You still, as a believer, are going to take hits. You still, and when I say believer, listen, I still honor all of those of you that where Christianity is not your faith-based thing. But God, the source of all, God is the only one who's going to be able to make change in the areas where we need to make change. So if you're pouring yourself out before God, however you do that, don't let the reflections of others' thoughts or their criticisms or their speculation, don't let that be a thing for you. You do what you have to do, whether they call you drunk or not, right? And so she said, don't disregard me as being a worthless woman. I've been speaking out my great anxiety and vexation all this time, right? So she just says, hey, listen, I'm reading into this. This is my Jeanette Smith interpretation. If I'm not a woman of faith, I'm not here crying before God. If I'm not a woman of faith, I'm not here wasting my tears before God that I don't think can do anything, right? That's a woman of faith. I'm just crying out. I'm sharing my anxiety. I'm sharing my vexation. And the thing is, God already knows what's in your heart anyway, right? Sometimes, yes, ma'am, you have to go beyond the normal and pour it out. Right. Absolutely, Neil. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, Michael. And so Eli says to her, "Go in peace. The God of Israel grant the petition you've made to him." She said, "Let your servant find favor in your sight." For me, that's the epitome of I receive it. Yep, let me have it. I touch and agree with you for the good that happened in my life, right? And she went back to her quarters and she ate and drank with her husband. And her countenance was sad no longer. Her countenance was sad no longer. Now, what I want you to do, we're about to wrap this. We're about to do Jeanette Smith remix on this, all right? We're about to wrap this in some positive psychology. When you see Hannah here pouring it out, crying before God, right? She doesn't ask disempowering questions. She doesn't ask any disempowering questions. Why is this happening to me? What should I do? Why me? Who's to blame? Why me? How did this happen? No disempowering questions, right? No. She simply went and laid out her petition. Now, all the hurt of the position she was laid in was there. All of the confusion, the anxiety, she's being taunted by the sister wife, all of that is there. But she never says, why God me? Why is this happening to me? She just says, God, and lays it out and says, I'll dedicate to you that which you give to me. So even in her broken place, she's still in a posture of giving. Even in her broken place, she's still in a posture of giving. Think about the things that you've been through. Think about the setbacks that you've faced. When you're in the middle of the setback, and let me just give you the answer before you go. We have all asked disempowering questions. Let me just put it out there. We have all said, why me? Why is this happening to me? What should I do? Who's to blame? What did I ever do to deserve this? Right? We have all done that. We have all done that. But I want you to think about that. Can you flip your mindset now? And let's think about what empowering questions could we ask in the middle of a hardship. When we're in the middle of a hardship or setback, if we're not going to ask disempowering questions, we're going to be like Hannah, and we're going to look to focus on what we have to be grateful for in this, what we can still give and be a part of in this, then we have to ask different questions. Yes, you have? Absolutely. Great. That's good, Ms. Leola. So then what are empowering questions? Does anybody know? What would be an empowering question that you could ask? No wrong answers. What would be an empowering question? God honors the posture of giving, even in your broken place. I know God does. And I know part of your story, and I know you do know. Absolutely. So Paulus is breaking down the Bible study. Hannah is Hebrew for Shana, meaning favor and grace. Her son Samuel means God heard. So God will always hear the prayers of those who have won favor with him. Amen. What is a empowering question? If we're not going to ask, why me? If we're not going to ask, why is this happening? Monique says, how is this working for me? Yes, yes. That's good. It's a good one. What other empowering questions? What are the other empowering questions we can ask in the middle of a setback to shift what we attract to ourselves, even what God answers, right? Because what you really want to know is, how is this working for me? She moves beyond that to say, I'm going to believe it's going to work for me. And when you do it, I'm going to dedicate back to you what you give me. Right? So other empowering questions might be, what's trying to emerge in my life? What's trying to emerge in my life? What's the lesson I most need now? What's the lesson I need most out of this right now? Right? What is my gift to share in the midst of this? That was Hannah's question. I don't even have it. But when I get it, that'll be my gift to share. Neil says, what am I to gain from this? That's another great empowering question. What am I to gain from this? Savala says, how will God help me use this to make me stronger, to make me better? What's up, Myron Leach? Those are empowering questions, right? And it's so easy in the middle of a setback, in the middle of a hardship, to ask, why is this happening to me? What's going on? Who's to blame? But if we stick and stay in that place of disempowering questions, you might get the answers to that, but you won't get the answers that move you forward. You won't get the answers that give you a little lift in your trajectory. You won't get the answers that help you see even the symbols and signs and things that are to come to answer those questions. Because if you ask, why is this happening to me? Even your fleshy mind will go, well, because you were born out of wedlock, you were this, nobody ever did that. Okay, but you want to rise in spite of that. So let's shift our questions to what's trying to emerge in my life. How can I grow from this? How can I learn from this? How will God help me become better and stronger and able to help others out of this? What's working for me in this? What's my lesson through this? Yes. And so then after we ask the empowering questions, then what? Then we need the answers, right? Then we need the answers. So what do the answers to empowering questions look like? Right? They look like inner prompting. I see you, Myron. Myron says, ask the hard but empowering questions. Absolutely. And they're not always easy, are they? Thank you for the hearts, Myron. I appreciate that. They're not always easy, sir, are they? No, you're right. They're empowering and they are hard. I'm so glad you mentioned that. They are the hard questions because those questions are usually wrapped in an assignment for you, like self-excavation. Like you're going to have to dig a little. You're going to have to get before God a little bit. You're going to have to sit and wait on the answer a little bit. You're going to have to pay attention to the promptings and the things that come. What do answers to empowering questions look like? It looks like inner promptings. You'll get an unction to call somebody, to do something, to be somewhere or not to go somewhere, right? Your intuitive hits will pick up. Your discernment will get finely tuned. Synchronous events. That's what happens to me. We just talked about that with the book thing, right? I wrote this book, published this book 5 years ago. And then one of my, mentors from afar who I had a chance to work with for a season, Oprah writes a book about the path. And look, that's how God speaks to me and synchronous things. Okay. So what are the synchronous ways God speaks to you in your life? Right? What are the ways that you get these hints and affirmations and confirmations, symbols, signs? You might even get some wonders. What are wonders? Things that happen. You can't explain how it happens, but they all confirm your peace. They all confirm your path. There's a lesson in our situations that God is teaching. Absolutely. Absolutely, Leola. So true. We call that faith. We call that faith. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Michael. You know why? Because that's where we're going next. And it doesn't matter what your faith belief is. you gotta have some of this faith. You gotta have some of this faith right here. What is faith? We look at the good old King James Version. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And there's so much debate about the now. Is there a comma missing? It's like now faith is a substance, or is it now faith, present faith? And I'm going with present faith, this moment. Now faith is the substance of things that you're hoping for with no evidence. Let's look at it in the Message. The fundamental fact of existence is that this trust in God, this faith in the firm foundation under everything makes life worth living. It is our handle on what we can't see. And isn't that what Hannah was operating in? Isn't that what Hannah was saying when she went to the temple and she was crying out before God and everybody thought she was drunk? Wasn't she saying, I'm going to operate in this now faith that I will have a son. And when I have that son, I will dedicate that son back to God. Yeah. My God. Right? I will dedicate that son back to God. She had no evidence that it was going to happen. Eli said, go, let it be done unto you. But maybe what happened to her, as we read into the scripture, right? For those good Bible scholars that like to do exegesis and eisegesis, maybe in that moment that Eli spoke that thing to her about go and let it be done unto you. And he says, go in peace and your petition to God that you've made to him be granted. And she says, let your servant find favor, which again, to me is like, I touch and agree with you. Yes, thank you. I receive it, right? Maybe something leapt in her. Maybe that was the confirmation. You know, when you get those goosebumps and you have no other reason to have reacted and had a visceral reaction or any other type of reaction, except for that something clicked with your spirit that said, yes, that's confirmed in your spirit this day. That is solidified. That's what needs to happen. You're on the right path. Trust and believe. And it must have been what happened for her, because she went on back and ate. She who had not eaten, she who had lost her appetite, she who had pushed back from the table, right? Got hungry again. Got hungry again. Savala says the answer to empowering questions not only assists you in answering the why, but the timing of when. Absolutely. 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 So now the question. Where's the area in your life where you lack a healthy appetite? Where is the area in your life? We all have them. We all have them. Truth bomb. I had to do this for myself. I had to do this for myself. There's been two big projects, two big endeavors that I have been undergoing. One just started in January of last year. One started 4 years ago. And I am at a crossroads now where one will not come to fruition in any kind of form in the way that I thought it would manifest. And another is kind of in limbo. And I figured out that what was trying to rise up in me, because I hadn't asked disempowering questions, not specifically, what I felt was the impact of what was happening. But I wasn't saying why me or this, that. I did ask why not me, which I'm not sure is a disempowering question, depending on where you put your intention, right? But I did shift, because I had always believed that this is happening for a purpose. And now I'm shifting higher to what is that purpose? I'm ready to know it. I'm ready to hear it. Remember the empowering questions. What's trying to emerge in my life? What's the lesson I need to know most? And this happens whether you're in ministry, whether you're working in a secular field, whether you're talking about a relationship, whether you're talking about your financial freedom, whatever it is, any area of your life, there's some area where you're going to have to apply this technique of being able to, in the middle of it, ask empowering and hard questions, right? And then also, Myron, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate you brought that. Hi, Florian. You brought that perspective, because empowering questions are tough to ask sometimes. But not only ask that, but ask, what can I give? Even from this place of being empty. Now, for me, it was coming on for you all to come do this devotional, having to minister to myself first, and then let's talk to you about your setbacks. All right. That's what can I give from this place? I can give you honesty. I can give you what I know has worked for me. I can give you my transparency, that we all have to deal with it. Peggy Ann says, listening at work. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Glad you're listening. Tony, what's up? She said, just keep us all rooted and grounded. And for that, I want to say thank you. You're always right on time with your topic. Please keep it up. Love you, girl. Big shout outs to Dallas. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you. Praise the Lord. Florian, hey, pretty lady. Good to see you, mama. Jennifer says, yes, yes. Right? We have to shift our questions to ask more empowering questions. And then we have to be willing to listen and to follow it. And if you are not in tune with your intuitive hits, if you're not in tune with your discernment, if you're not in tune with inner promptings, all you have to do is practice. Sit and listen. When people, I'm sure it happens to you, and maybe you just miss it. Somebody's name will pop up in your mind and you'll go, oh, that's weird. And then you'll go clean the dishes or do whatever. Maybe it's meant for you to call that person, to check on that person. Maybe it's meant for you to reach out to them, right? Maybe you're sitting there and you're thinking, I should do groceries today. And, for whatever reason, you have a strong pull to do that, but you can justify and go, oh, well, we have enough till tomorrow. I'll do tomorrow. But maybe there's a reason that in the divine plan, you need to go do groceries today because of who you'll meet or who you'll run into or who you'll impact or what you'll avoid, for that matter, right? And the other thing that bonus for you today that I will share is that I had to remind myself of something that I've been sharing with many of you in this season of COVID and crazy that's going on in the world. And that is that rejection, what seems to be rejection. I'm going to even put it in a banner for you. What seems to be rejection is often redirection or even protection. Okay. Remember, what seems to be rejection is often redirection or even protection, right? And that can be a bitter pill to swallow. I see the hearts popping up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see them. And for Florina, you're going to help me with that because it's so beautiful. Says, amen. The value of appreciating instinct. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Floriana, thank you. I knew you'd help me get it right, mama. Thank you, sweet lady. Yes. Never forget that what seems to be rejection is often redirection or protection. It is a bitter pill to swallow because you think you're on the right path. You get to what is sometimes a dead end or a cul-de-sac. I say a cul-de-sac because it just circles you around to go back in the direction that you were already going. And so what do you do with that? You sit, you do like Hannah. You pour it out, get the feelings out. You do like our exercise this morning. You do gratitude stacking. You meditate, do some yoga, do things that take you out of your immediate fixed mindset about it and expand to your growth mindset about it. You start asking those empowering questions. What am I supposed to learn? What's emerging in my life now? What can I give to others? How can I serve and still have impact? You start asking all those questions, and you sit back. Redirection. Why you got the big eye? Redirection. I know. Yeah, redirection, mama. And so this is something that we will conquer. What does that mean? That means that now when it hits, it's still going to feel funny. It's still going to, hit you. Sometimes it'll feel like a sucker punch. Don't put off what you can do today for doing it tomorrow. Yes, yes. Still going to feel like a sucker punch. But at the end of it, you can't lose your hungry. Stay hungry. Stay hungry. Whatever that is that you started, stay hungry. Whatever it was you were passionate about before, you can get passionate about it again. Stay hungry. Listen, just because your tank is a little empty, if my tank is empty and I'm out somewhere, I'm not going to call the dealership and say, come get this car. It didn't work anymore. I don't want this car anymore. The tank is empty. No, I'm going to get the car to the gas station where I can fill the tank. Don't throw away your purpose. Do not throw away your dream. Do not give up on yourself. Even when processes or people fail you, you stay committed to what it is you're supposed to do. Don't cash in the car because your tank is empty. Stay hungry. Oh, I love it. You all better say it. Stay hungry. That's the hashtag today. Stay hungry. What a beautiful, life-changing topic today. Peace and blessings, brother. Appreciate you always. Stay hungry. Now that we have landed in that space, I'm so happy to always be doing this work with you all. You all are beautiful souls. Let me just tell you, stay hungry. Stay hungry. I want to make sure that you all know about what's coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1:00, you'll remember a month ago, y'all keep saying stay hungry. I'm gonna put every single one of those up because when I put your comment in, I'm touching and agreeing with you. Stay hungry. So go ahead and type them in. I'll put them in. I just want to tell everybody what's happening tomorrow. A month ago, I did a panel with a diverse group of people, Black, white, Asian, straight, gay, all kinds of people. And we took the implicit bias test from Harvard that Harvard offers online. And we came together to talk about it. I don't know if many of you, the empowerment team, you were with me for that. And we're doing our 1 month check-in. What did we learn? How have we grown? That is coming up tomorrow at 1:00. All right. We're all going to come back together for our 1 month check-in tomorrow at 1 p.m., 12 Central, 10 Pacific. These are the conversations we need to have. We're growing together. And the only way we grow together is to understand each other. So we all came together to talk about what our biases were. We had a licensed therapist and coach, Vasavi Kumar, with us. Tomorrow, I'll sit down with our folks and come back and have great conversations around what we learned. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow, 1:00 on Life Unscripted. All right. What say ye? Stay hungry, Jen. Touching and agreeing with you. Michael, stay hungry. Touching and agreeing with you. Yes. Love yourself. Stay hungry, says Miss Helen. Stay hungry, says Michael. Stay hungry, says Myron Leach. Stay hungry, says Timothy. I see you, Tim. Stay hungry, says Reverend Riri. Stay hungry, says Pamela Williams. Stay hungry, says my pastor, Patrick Claiborne. Stay hungry, says Monique. Stay hungry. Fantastic class for you today. I'm so glad that's blessing you and resonating with you. Some passions don't leave. They're just on simmer and just need another spark of fire. Absolutely. I agree. And I hope, and my prayer is that this has been your spark for today, that you will stay hungry, that you won't give up on the dream, that you won't give up on the passion. The vehicle, the game may change, whatever it is, that gets you there. You started in a car, you end up in a boat. It doesn't matter. Stay hungry, says Leola. Stay on your path. Stay on your path. Get the tools you need to help keep your tank full, but stay on your path. That's our time for today, you all. I love you so much to life. If you all need a coach, you know where to find me. If you're not a part of the Empowerment Tribe, make sure you type the word release to 22999 so you get information about our pop-ups and other private things that we do together, downloadables that I send out and share. Those are my extras for those who have been and will walk with me as the Empowerment Tribe. Our Empowerment Tribe Facebook group is open. You all have been coming. That's where you come and share your memes and your quotes of inspiration and the things that are inspiring you. And just another place for us to gather and be able to keep each other lifted in high vibrations in these times when things want to take us so low. So make sure you do that. And if you need a coach, visit me at JeanetteSmith.com. We have had exciting classes going on. I do individual coaching too, but I'm also just as inspired by our group coaching. Shout out to those of you that are in our group coaching, and shout out to those of you that are a part of the Empowerment Tribe Content Creator Series. I can't wait for you all to see what they are developing, what they're doing. They are learning and growing, and they're just gonna take over this thing with all light and positivity and all sorts of things on all platforms. Periscope, great scopers there, Facebook Live, YouTube live streaming. I mean, they are doing it. So proud of them. And if you'd like to get into any one of those group coaching sessions, just meet me at JeanetteSmith.com for more. Love you all to life. Stay on your path. Love, 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 love you too. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Tomorrow afternoon at 1, I'm glad you're going to be in the place to be. That's it. Love you all. Now, remember, you have something to give, even if you're in a place of a setback right now. Whatever that is, hold that in your mind and make it your intention to go out and share that gift today. Go out and share that gift today. Thank you, Floriana. It's nice to be with you today. Glad you joined us. Go share that thing. Love you. Bye-bye.